So as of this recording, Spider-Man Far From Home is the highest grossing Sony film of all time. That intro actually makes no sense because what's gonna pass it? Okay, so I'm recording this before other films have come out since Spider-Man Far From Home. So if you're watching this in like 3 years where something has become bigger, like the next Spider-Man film, this is outdated. There we go, bought myself some time. Anyways, let's talk about this, why this is important and what does this mean for Spider-Man in the future. And as always, thank you to all of you who have been liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and of course the comments. I guess those are important too, so thank you. So with the initial release of Spider-Man Far From Home, everybody was looking at that going, you know what, they got a pretty good shot at $1 billion. Even the highest end estimates were like $1 billion is pretty safe, and that was like on the high end. Nobody expected it was gonna become this big. And by this big, I mean it is now the biggest Sony film of all time, passing that one James Bond movie. And I can't tell you which James Bond movie it is because I didn't see it and it already left my brain. But the important thing that we're focusing on here is Spider-Man's success. The huge acceptance by everybody to go watch this film and to obviously want to know what is happening with the characters and the MCU going forward. Now, there's a lot to be discussed in regards to Spider-Man's future. What does this mean for it? You know, where does he go? What is Sony going to decide to do with Spider-Man? Are they going to give him up? Are they going to, you know, stick with the Marvel deal? Are they going to take him back? And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they move forward, considering they have to be really careful. And by really careful, I mean they have to really take a step back and understand why this film did as good as it did, as opposed to any of the other ones where, you know, if you look at Spider-Man's box office history, it's typically an up and down scenario one after another. And this is a clear indicator that people want Spidey in the MCU, and I think that's the big takeaway here, that Spidey's MCU influence and him being a member of that cast has pushed people to want to see more of it. Now, having this, I think, solidifies that Marvel is going to reach a new deal, and just by looking at this, I think they're going to really focus on Spider-Man as the central vocal character going forward for Sony and all of those brands. And if you just look at the non-Spider-Man inclusive films that they're developing, they're still calling them the Spider-Man universe, it's just no Spider-Man in it. So things are looking rather good, and I'm interested to see how Sony is going to respond to this by the end of the year where everything fiscal is out, because they're going to have to acknowledge why Spider-Man is their biggest film, and the clear indication here is it's their biggest film because of the inclusion in the MCU. So whether you loved it or hate it, I don't think you can take away its success away from it. So you guys, let me know, what do you think of this, and what do you think Sony is going to specifically do with the character? Do they take him back? Are they that insane? Or are they going to be like, you know what, this has worked out, we're probably going to make another $1 billion the next time, if not more, so let's keep him in the MCU. So yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys, and as always, you guys rock. Look at that, give you some props.